Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? I had a really fast time on here when I was doing sword art videos, so I thought I'd just continue. Um, but with this week's episode of the demon, who is so ridiculously overpowered, I honestly felt like we're getting close to just understanding maybe an end game of this show. Like it feels like they're actually revving up to finish this, right? And what I mean by that is the way that they are explaining this hero and not only making it seem like it was gonna be okay, well, I'll just find the reincarnated portion of you that seems to like me the most or that seems most like you. And within this Hero Academy, everything's all good until you get to this reincarnated area. Until you start talking to these actual heroes who, once they start learning your origin, they're already skeptical as of why you're here, what you could want to know, and what you are willing to do, or whatever the heroes believe. Because if you think about it, having rewritten uh, history and all that stuff is pretty cool in the grand scheme of being someone who is not a part of this history that was created because you're supposed to be gone, right? Um, it's pretty much just the history of you and what you've done through and through because we learned some dark stuff about supposedly the humans have taken the demon king's mother, and to think that he even cares about something so lowly as peace with people who would have done that also shows you something you never really see in anime. Someone who's willing to look way, way deep and forgive. Sure, he's still taking out humans like they're ants as of right now, but comparing that to what other people would do, like eradicate the human race and then maybe keep a couple around as toys or something, that that's usually what we see from these types of people once they breach that breaking point. And to know that he has said, "Nah, I want to, I want to save everyone. I want all species to be okay. I want all species to have their space." Um, that said a lot more about his character, even 2,000 years ago, right? Um, but now that we know, finish everything he wanted to do, clearly, if he was murdered by a human, or unless that's also some altercation in their history that this demon has made, so he wouldn't have to deal with them, because whatever it was this hero could do in that time of his living was great enough to bring the Demon King to an understanding that there needs to be more peace than him just fighting over and over. It sounds like he has defeated these people before, or at least to a stalemates, and most likely by himself. And if he brought every single person he has at hand, you would think he would win. But something we're not understanding about this hero, and it sounded like he can be reborn or like brought to life, like summoned or something like that. Like he's just immortal in some shape or form, and so is our guy. Hence why, even after his death, his parts of him went to multiple people because you just truly can't take him out. But now that the guy who jumped in and was, adamant of killing, only killing and destroying, it sounds like he has a really big part of training the next generation of those heroes who he himself already had a big influence on the first guy just by the way he was talking and putting his logic and forwardness into the hero. I think his death also probably forced that upon his character. with that necklace falling down. We'll see where that necklace actually shows back up in present day, if it does, which it should. I mean, I didn't even see it while he was fighting, so I hope it does. Outside of that, though, seeing the heroes area, it was definitely like brushed through. Like it just wasn't important to us at all, as the viewers through the demon's eyes of the Demon King. Because guess what? He knows all about it. Sure, it might have changed here and there, but from what I'm understanding, it's mostly the same. Like he knew exactly where to go. He knew about where they would be at. He just didn't know what area in the new building the or like if they were all separated. Clearly, like two of them were close by, but not all of them. Like why didn't all of them pull up? So there you go. There's those little tiny details about him and the way that we follow him through his story that are now that is really cool and balanced in some way. But as a negative point, it definitely feels like the hero realm or like the world is just super super tainted like ours. So there's not really much to learn for him because that's what they actually believe, right? Like he has to actually happen, and that the hero didn't actually set those walls. But I feel like no one would even know about that either. Like no one would be able to credit that someone else did those walls. So we'll see what happens. This show is amazing. I'm glad someone told me that. I feel like it was underrated, to be fair. Like I don't see many talks about it, and the talks I do see about it, it's just the same old about him being overpowered. So even I wanted to step away from that. Yes, he is overpowered, but he's dope. Like he's actually an amazing written character, surprisingly, and all of the things that are going into his characters and the people around him are going to grow them tremendously from what I can already tell. So I hope everybody's having a good one. I definitely will talk to you sooner than later. So with that being said, take care and peace, my anime people. Later. And if you don't know why I picked Spawn, yeah.